Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is August the 3rd, 2022. I said that we were going to try something different for today because it's Wednesday and I was wanting to do just something different. But Facebook, good old Facebook, is not letting me do what I wanted to do. Um, Actually, I learned a couple things by getting in here and playing around. So whenever you go into your own page, you can see a lot of things. You can see a lot of very interesting things. First thing you can see is if your account is restricted or not, which mine is. And I didn't know this. So let me tell you what has happened. Back in March, that's when it was? Yeah, March 17th. Back in March 17th, 2022, I re-uploaded a memory, which is basically, taking something that you posted before, putting it back up out there for people to see. And it got flagged. The post repeats false information about COVID that goes against our community standards. So I went into this to see what it was. And it was a good one. I posted, this is what I posted, March 17th of 2021. There is no pandemic, only your fear of numbers. Now that may get my video pulled off of YouTube for all I know. I don't know. But that was enough for Facebook to wipe me out. I was restricted so hard because of this. I think, let me look at my restriction history. I couldn't take part in groups for 3 days at the time. I couldn't post or comment for 24 hours at the time. And my posts would be moved lower in the news feeds of my friends for at least 90 days. That happened back in March 17th. It's been 90 days since March 17th. I'm pretty sure we've gone through the whole deal. So, anyways, while all this has been going on, while I have just not been caring, while I have not been paying attention, I have been racking up restrictions. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4. I got one for April, which I cannot see it. They won't let me see it for whatever reason. I don't know why. Which is weird that they won't let me see it. I have one from July 17th. All these say that the post includes information that independent fact checkers, which are not independent fact checkers, say are false. So apparently I've been resharing things that they have not sent me any notifications whatsoever. They just been doing it. They just been putting me on 90 day, your post will be pulled lower. It's basically shadow banning is what it is. They will be shadow banning me for 90 days, but they're not telling me anymore. One for July 21st. There's 2 of them for July 21st. So apparently July 21st, I was on it. There's one that I can kind of see it. Oh, it's the guy that's sitting he's sitting behind the thing, and it's whatever it is, and he says, "Change my mind." It says, "Monkeypox is vaccine acquired, shingles covered up, change my mind." But of course, it says it's information that independent fact checkers say is false. But then there was another one. This says the fact check says it's an aardvark. I can't deal with that level of stupidity today. So that one was from, I think it was 2020 or 2021, where they had the COVID response unit, and it was a big white truck, and the side of the logo was, it was supposedly it was an aardvark. I wish I could find a picture of that. Let me see if I can find it. But when you look at it, it looks like a Baphomet, really. And it really truly does. The logo that they had when they started just looked insane. It's not here anymore. I looked it up in images and it's not. Let me see if I can find let's see if I can actually find the aardvark. Let's try that. COVID-19 testing truck depicts an aardvark, not death. Not Anubis, the god of death, not a death deity. And of course, there's no pictures of the logo. Oh, this is so funny. Debunking viral claims. The logo was created in 2007, includes the aardvark head, which is what you see in a COVID testing logo. But they won't show the logo. They just show a picture of an aardvark and then a picture of Anubis. Now, to be fair, they look pretty similar. But but it's not here. It's not. The website they send you to, testingtruck.com, it's not there. It's not there. Oh my goodness. This is just too good. This is too good. So let me see if I can find it in images. There we go. There it is. Right there. There's that logo. No, I don't want to. God, I hate pop-ups, man. Go away. Go away. I can't make it go away. I can't make it go away. It's my ad blocker, is what it is. I'm going to bring you guys in here so you can see this. Wait, not there. There we go. Alright. So this is the logo right here that I was talking about. This is that testing center. It was a mobile testing center. And the logo they had, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's kind of small. Let me see if I can find a better one. See, they changed it because they knew if you put this kind of stuff in people's faces for too long, they're going to catch on. They're going to catch on. But it's that damn Anubis head, you know? Let's see if I can get in here. You can kind of see it there until the pop-up comes up. But that's not an aardvark. It looks so weird. Why would they even have an aardvark? Hell, it looks more like a lobster, for crying out loud. But that was what they had. That was the level of nonsense that they had. And we who have the understanding, who are seeing the veil being lifted, we know how they work. We know how the symbolism works. We see it constantly. They have, well, this whole minimalism thing, all of these logos and things where they take out all the details and it's just this very, very minimalistic details of something that they put in your face. It's how they get away with a lot of stuff. They can say, "Oh no, this isn't an Anubis head. This is an aardvark. Look, you can clearly see the toes on this thing." Yes, but minimalistically, that's the godhead of Anubis. When you, one of the biggest ones that I like to point out is whenever they hang American flags, that they purposely fold an American flag to hang so that the stars point down. If you're ever watching like a news conference, or if you're ever watching like a presidential debate, or whatever, just whatever where there's a flag in the background, when they hang a flag, you could let it just drop straight down and you wouldn't be able to see any stars. You could have it a certain way, but they take it and they fold it. If you ever notice that there's almost every single flag you ever see is folded a very specific way whenever they're hanging on a flagpole, standing flagpole. And when you really, really look at it, you can see it in the background. All the stars are hanging upside down. It's one of those things I've pointed out, I've noticed. But then there's other things that we've seen as well. Other minimalistic symbols that have come out in the world, and whatever. But that was one of the ones that I got busted for on July 21st. So they've been slowly racking up. I've been slowly racking up restrictions, not even knowing. And no one has told me anything about this. It has just kind of happened over and over and over again. Now, I don't remember if part of the first thing was that, within those 90 days, if I post something else, it'll be re-upped. I don't know. April, May, June. That's 3 months. By June, I should have been done with this. So what? When it happened in April, was it re-upped? And then it happened in July and it was re-upped? So I'm still on a 90-day restriction. It's no wonder nobody's been talking to me. Unbelievable. But this is life now, unfortunately. If you don't toe the party line, if you speak out against the world, if you speak out against the evils of the world, you will be shadow banned, you will be put in a corner, and no one will be able to hear from you. You will honestly and actually be screaming against a brick wall, a digital brick wall that has been put in place by the gatekeepers of truth. And I like to point out, just like everybody else likes to point out, this stuff wasn't here 5 years ago. 5 years ago, this stuff was not here. We did not get fact checkers until truth started coming out. Once the truth started coming out, once people started talking about what was going on in the world, that was when fact checkers started popping up. Because they started saying, oh, there is a disinformation problem happening right now. That there are so many people that are sharing so many things that people are starting to believe what they're saying, and we have to make sure that we stop all different disinformation before it starts. And all that nonsense. And it doesn't take away that disinformation. All it does is take away your ability to speak freely. And unfortunately, all the people that, when they see these things and they read the fact checks, because they think that fact checks are legitimate sources of information, which they're not. It's already been proven several times over. I think somebody even said that Facebook had to admit that their fact checkers were hired. They were opinions that they got taken to court or something, and they had to admit that the fact checks are just opinions, and I think it says it somewhere. I might have to go look it up. I don't know. But that they're just not real. There's just nothing. There's nothing there that would even remotely be considered a real source of information. So you can't speak out against the party now. You can't have a voice anymore. You can't say, this is a problem, this is happening here, this is happening there, because they'll cut you off. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So what I was going to do today was I was going to go back through some of my old posts. One of the things you can do if you go to your own page is you can go down to your post and you can click filters. You can go to year. So I went back to 2019 before everything started, whenever I was on top of it. Remember, I've been saying that, some of these memories I've been getting have been pretty hardcore, just whole paragraphs of stuff that I was writing that I thought were pretty amazing when you go back and read them. So I said, well, let's go back to 2019. Let's go back to July. I'm not going to put a day in, but I'm going to click it. And I went down and, there's one from July 31st. It was a video of Bill Cooper that doesn't exist anymore because Facebook made it to where you cannot share videos anymore. So whatever, I don't share videos anymore. My memories don't show that anyways. I found one from July 30th. I'm not going to tell you what it is. We're not going to get into that. I found another one from YouTube, but again, you can't repost videos. Here's one about symbology from the 30th. Here's one from the 29th. And it just goes on and on. There's a couple pictures here. So I kept going down and kept going down. And I started noticing some of the dates are missing. Some of the posts are missing. Some of the posts that I was re-uploading as memories aren't here anymore. Actually, there's whole days where I'm just missing. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So if I go back, actually it's what's nutty is if I go back to my page again, if I just scroll down and look at the memories that I shared, they'll pop up here. Where was the one? The biggest one that I saw was, and I know again you can't see it because I have personal information on my Facebook page, and I don't want to give any of that stuff out. Here's a couple of them from this is from last year, of course. I'm looking at 2019 from 3 years ago, though. I mean, there's stuff that's missing. It's just not showing up. So I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to. I was gonna go read through some of these, but of course, like I said, it's all missing memories. I don't get it. So it makes me think that the only way that I'm going to be able to save any of this stuff, because apparently I'm going to have to go through my Facebook and save some of this stuff now, because it is now officially starting to disappear, is that every time I see a memory, I'm going to have to actively go in and save it to a notepad file or something so that I have it. so that I know that it won't disappear. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. So, anyways, I was going to find one of these. I was going to find a good one and we could talk about it. Um, but especially the past couple months, apparently June and July of 2019, I was all over it. I mean, I was really getting into some really, really interesting stuff. I'm trying to find a good one for you. Here's one. Okay, this is from July 28th of 2019. So this is, I'm just going to go word for word. This is exactly what I posted. All right. It says, forget your bias as you read this. Noah flood myth. God told Noah to build an ark because the world had become evil. He built a giant boat and took pairs of animals, food, and 7 others onto it and spent a year in the flood. He sent out a raven and finally found dry land. So there is Algonquin flood myth. I'm going to kill these names. Nanabozho, Nanabozho, Nanabozho sought after the great serpent, who took his cousin. The great serpent lived underwater with his evil demon followers. The great serpent wrapped his body around the world and flooded it. Nanabozho creates a raft and saves his people from the flood. That was Algonquin. All right, this is Ojibwe. I think these are all Native American tribes, is what I was getting at. Ojibwe flood myth. God causes a flood because all men had become evil in the world. Whew. Wayna Boozhoo, which is so very similar to Nanabozho. Wayna Boozhoo survived on a raft with all the animals. He found mud on the beak of a bird to know where land was. Keeps going. Cree flood myth. Wissagetkek, the trickster, created a dam to catch the great beaver. The great beaver turned the tide and built a bigger dam that flooded the world. Wissagetkek made a raft to survive. It includes a raven landing on the raft because there is no land in the world. And it keeps going. Athabascan flood myth. Datsunsa, the great raven, told Raven, I don't know why that's weird. Datsunsa, the great raven, told Raven, I guess Raven is a second. There's a great raven and then there's a raven. Okay. Told Raven. All right. Not great raven, told Raven to build a raft and gather the animals. As he did, it began to rain. After the rain, Raven sent seagulls in every direction to find land. After this, Raven created man from clay, then woman after, to populate the earth. And then, of course, I said, did anyone catch what happened there? So which came first? What did the Native Americans know that we didn't? Just why exactly did we exact manifest destiny on these people? Just asking questions. The truth is a healing power. Which is something that I picked up in 2019. I was listening to, it was a woman, she had been interviewing Native American elders out in the West about giants, about the red-haired giants, about the ant people. I've kind of mentioned this before about how the Native Americans of the West talk about when they came out of the caves. They were told to go hide in these caves because the end of the world was coming. So they went into these caves where these giant ant people lived, and they were taken into slavery. But the world ended. You know, according to them, the world actually ended. There was great fireballs, and like everything was, you know, completely wiped out. But they were taken into slavery by these ant people, and they were down there for hundreds of years. I don't remember exactly how long they said it was, but eventually they got free. And when they came back out of the caves, they found that everything had regrown. Everything, you know, was just fine. So whenever they expanded out of the caves into the world, they found all the cities, because they told the white man, whenever the white man came, when they were asked about where all these cities had come from, where all these, you know, the pyramids and all of the Indian mounds and all the other stuff, the elders said that their elders told the white man that they were already here. When they came out of the caves, all this stuff was already here. They just moved back in. So there's something very interesting to those stories. But this woman was, you know, talking to these elders, trying to get all these stories, because, you know, she's trying to find it out as just like everybody else. And she wrote a book. I wish I could remember her name. I know I wrote it down in a notepad full of stuff that I used to write things down on, and it's in I have a box full of computer stuff from work, and there's pages upon pages of just scribblings, you know, but none of it would make any sense now, I'm sure. But it was every little bit of information that I could get, you know, whether it was on a Post-it note or whether it was on the notepad or whether it was something else. I need to find those notepads, because I had more than one, and all the information that I had. I'm sure her name is on one of those. But she had said, one of the elders told her, and she said that it's a motto she lives by now, is that the truth has a healing power to it. Is that when you hear the truth, when you hear the full truth, and you understand that, yes, that is truth, that is true, and it is real, and it breaks through all of the garbage that you've ever heard in your entire life, and you understand, yes, that is real. The truth can be a healing power. It heals you from the inside out. It mends you. It fixes your mind. So I took that. The truth is a healing power, and it is. It absolutely is. But at this time, I think we took this from... This wasn't from the book that I bought. I bought a book of Indian folklore. Flood myths. I don't think I took it from that. I think I took that from... hell, I think I just looked that up. I think you could still just Google this stuff. But there's more than this. Because the first time I ever heard of a Native American flood myth, I said, they have flood myths? What? I knew the South Americans did, and I knew the Eskimos had flood myths, but I didn't know that Native Americans had them. You know, everybody else in the world has them. Why not? But then you look them up and you hear about how these came together. Some of these flood myths. One of the things I didn't add to these were that some of these, they talk about how many people got saved. Usually the number's between 6 and 8. Sometimes it's only 2 people. Sometimes it's just 1 person. Most times, though, it's either 6 people or it's 8 people. And it's usually always because such and such built a raft or built a boat. I think one of them is he built a cube. He built a square boat and put all the animals in this square boat, and they were able to be saved. Or there was another one where it was the raft. I think it was, where did it say it was? Nana Bozo creates a raft. That's the Algonquin one, where it was a gigantic flat raft. He brought all the animals onto this raft so that they could all be saved. And they all just existed on this raft. And then, whenever they got done, all the animals got off and they populated the world. Him and his wife and however many kids. But it's those similarities that we never hear about. You will never hear about those in school because, they want you to believe that we were all separated, that people were so scared of the oceans that they absolutely would not go with the human instinct to go see what's on the other side. Because humans always want to know what's out there, what's further out there. I mean, these people were so stupid and so illiterate, didn't know anything. Sitting around all day, just barely knowing how to farm, barely knowing how to live, weren't really worried about anything. And they were just like, I don't need to go see if there's more land over there. I have my acres of whatever. I have my animals. I have my wife and my kids. I don't need to worry about what's over there. It's just the sea. Whatever. Who cares? There were no people that thought they were higher than anybody else. No kings. No kings or princes that thought, hey, I sure wish there was some more land to conquer so I could get more wealth. So whatever. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to sit here in my nice little quiet spot. I'm sure there was nobody that ever thought, hey, what's on the other side of all this water? No, because apparently they saw sea monsters and they said, nope, can't do that. No, the human ability to go out and kill gigantic whales for all of the things that whales have, the blubber, the oil, the meat, whatever, that doesn't mean anything, whenever it comes to, oh, there's a sea serpent. We can't go past the water because there's a sea serpent. Give me a break. Just give me a break, man. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. So it's the same thing as like the pyramids everywhere. It's the same thing as these Egyptian artifacts that we find everywhere. It's the same thing as everybody having a flood myth. And everybody having similar sounding words that mean almost the exact same thing. We've talked about, I even posted it a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I could find it, but it was talking about the name of God. So the Hebrews called their God Jehovah, or Yah. Native Americans, there were a couple of them that had different names to them, but their name was still Yah or Jah. And there was another one too, and I wish I could find it because I do not remember it right off the top of my head. That's what I said. I need to start writing all this down. It's a lot of stuff about, oh God, look at that. Related articles. Holy smokes. Missing context. Okay, July 21st, 2020. Okay. So here is go away. It's got a missing context thing on it. So this is for the CDC. A positive test result shows you may have antibodies from an infection with the virus that causes the COV. However, and this is underlined, there is a chance a positive result means that you have antibodies from an infection with a virus from the same family of viruses, such as the one that causes the common cold. So a positive test results shows you may have antibodies from the COV. However, there is a chance that a positive result means that you have something from an infection from the same family, such as the common cold. So if your test is positive, it could also be a common cold. This is straight from the CDC. And of course, oh man, they got rid of it. No, they didn't. Okay. Yes, they did. Man, Facebook just ruined me. I have to scroll all the way back down. Unbelievable. Thank you, Facebook, for sucking so much. I swear, they suck so much. Just absolutely suck so much. I don't even know why I'm on it anymore. To try to wake up the 18 friends that I have. There it is. All right, missing context. What is the missing context? Let me check the missing context. CDC statement related to past infection antibody testing, not COVID diagnostic tests. Common cold does not produce positive, but the CDC just said, but it just said, but you're not. Anyways, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fact checks on this. Unbelievable, man. The information shared online about common colds relates to antibody tests, not coronavirus tests. Positive test result, and they actually use the exact wording. A positive test result shows that you may have antibodies from an infection with the virus that causes the COV. The CDC states on a page dedicated to past infections. However, there's a chance a positive result means you have antibodies from an infection. Okay. But it also says antibody tests should not be used. But that's what they do. That's what these tests are. That's what these tests are. They test for the antibodies. Oh my god. Stupid. It's just it's crap is what it is. Just more crap. Anyways, what was I looking for? Oh, there's the one. The aardvark from July 21st. As soon as you click on it and you click back to where you were, it goes all the way back to the beginning of your page, so you lose where you were. Facebook is made to frustrate. Unbelievable garbage. It's all that is, garbage, man. We allowed this stuff to enter into our lives thinking that it was going to help us in some way, shape, or form. It didn't help us. It destroyed us is what it did. This and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchats. God, what else is out there? There's so many out there now that it's absurd. And you've got guys now that will, they'll push the other ones that are out there. Whatever the truther ones are, Oh, you gotta. It's the same thing. It's this and this and that and this and all this stuff. And why did I get a missing context on a picture from? Wait, what is this? German weather maps do not prove climate change isn't real. What? Oh my! Here we go. No, it was a weather forecast. It was a weather forecast from 2017. When you look at the map, the numbers, the pictures. This says it's from June 21st of 2017, and the numbers are between, I think the lowest one on here is 20 degrees, and this is Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius, and I think the highest one is 37. The highest one is 37. So the same exact weather report from June the 21st of 2022 shows the lowest one I see is 19 and the highest one is 32. The only difference being is that the image is all covered in red. And of course the I can't go back now. Oh, Facebook, you suck. The fact check, there we go. The fact check is that you cannot compare two things to disprove climate change. Ooh. Okay, map comparison has made the rounds online. Let's see how they spin this one. Conversely, it's a heat map. Oh, excuse me. Oh, here we go. Okay. Map comparisons made around, but the maps cannot be compared. Director and editor of Carbon Brief. See, of course, you have to get a guy that believes he's part of the whole thing. It's a UK-based website covering the latest developments in client assignments, client policy, and energy policy. Tackle the claim on Twitter. So we're going to get somebody that is part of the people that's, no matter what you say, they're going to say. We're not getting just a random Joe off the street. We're not getting an independent check. We're getting somebody from that camp. It's basically saying the White House came out today and said that any information coming out of the White House is not disinformation. It's exactly what you're saying. So what they did was they went and they found somebody that works for a website on climate change and says that believes in that covers and pushes the ideas of climate change and says, no, this doesn't talk about climate change. That's exactly what this says. Or this doesn't disprove climate change, put it this way. So the June 21st, 2017 map appeared to show a topographic map, which depicts the surface of the area shown in the map. Okay, and conversely, the June 21st, 2022 map shows a heat map. The same newscast discussed above shows a heat map, presumably for another day in the week. They uses similar colors to the heat map. Okay, so what? So where is the... Okay, so what? It shows a heat map. Big deal. It's the numbers that we're talking about here. Why are you... Oh my God. This is why fact checks suck. Because this has nothing to do with topographical maps or heat maps. Why is... What... Okay, you want to know what a topographical map is? Distinctive characteristic of a topographical map is the use of elevation contour lines to show the shape of the Earth's surface. Elevation contours are imaginary lines connecting points having the same elevation. What do topographical maps have to do with temperature? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing. It's just a topographical map. It's just a different way of looking at a map. And yet, dun dun dun, I'll pull you guys in this so you guys can see. I want you to see the lunacy. The lunacy that these people do. Make sure that we're good. Okay. This is what I was talking about. This is 2017. This is the one with the temperatures on it. These are temperatures. This is a topographical map. I could have told you this was a topographical map. I could have very easily told you this was a topographical map. This is just showing elevations. It's not a heat map. It's a topographical map. So what? It's got temperatures on it. These are the temperatures we're going to have for today. This is what it is. This is the temperatures. The one on the bottom is a heat map. It's showing you how hot it's going to be. These are the temperatures it's going to be. The fact check. No, let me get... Do I have to go back? The fact check says... The map comparison, but the maps cannot be compared. The maps can't be compared. So one is a heat, and that's where it stops. There's nothing else here. The maps can't be compared. There's nothing in here. I'm trying to show you how shit fact checks are. Does the comparison of two German news channel weather maps, one from 2017 and one from 2022, prove that climate change isn't real? No, it's not true. Although the map from 2017 has higher temperatures, one is a topographical map and the other is a heat map, which explains their different appearances. That's not the point. That's not the point. This is how they get you. There is a fact check on this picture. This was the picture I posted on my Facebook. This has nothing to do with that. Now, it's interesting, though. They said this is from 6/21/2017. So what? If I took this picture and put it on top of this picture, would that help? I wonder if that would help. I really do wonder if it would help, because, they can't fact check that. They can't fact check because you're using two different topographical maps, and this one goes from, this is 21. What's the highest number on this? 36. 21 to 36 is still higher than 19 to 32. You had higher temperatures in 2017 than you had in 2022. That's the point. That's the point. is that they claimed, I remember hearing about that. They were saying, oh, June the 21st is the hottest day ever recorded ever. And they were freaking out. Oh, it's climate change. We're all going to die. I even said to myself, hottest day ever. No, that was not the hottest day ever. I'm sorry. This right here proves it. But the fact check says this can't be used with this because this is a topographical map. This is a heat map. There's a difference. No, there's not. No, it's the temperatures. It's what you're looking at is the temperatures. This is how stupid fact checks are. I even pulled it here. Topographical map. All this shows is contour lines. That doesn't matter. That's not what you're supposed to be looking at. But because they put the fact check on it, people are going to naturally assume that it's not real. Oh, you're just bullshit. Oh, it's a fact check. I can't follow that guy because it's a fact. He's got fact checks all over his Facebook. This guy posts false information. I can't listen to him anymore. I have to turn him into the police because he posts false information. Because the fact checks tell me that this is how they get you. You have to wake up. You have to wake up to this. It's garbage. According to climate scientists, global warming is very real. Here, and here. Right. If it were, though, then why is it that these temperatures, it was hotter in 2017 than it is now? They say that the world is increasing in temperature now by 1.5 degrees per 5 years or something. They say on average those numbers are going up. So why is it that 2017 was hotter than 2022? I'm waiting. It's not real. It never was real. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you or trick you. Definitely don't let them fool you or trick you with bullshit like that. That just stupid fact checks, man. It's just ridiculous. And of course, if I were to repost that to try to prove it again, I'd probably get another ban. It's just so unbelievable. And see, the problem is that people listen to this stuff. I'm starting to see fact checks on Twitter now, which is absurd. But people listen to that stuff, and people have been told time and time and time again, do not listen to your crazy conspiracy theorist family members. Don't listen to them because they are going to manipulate you and lie to you and make you believe all this false nonsense, and they don't know what they're talking about. Don't believe them. Don't believe in the crazy conspiracy theory guys that you hear online because they don't know what they're talking about either. It's just some, fat neckbeard living in his mom's basement. They don't know what they're talking about. They're crazy. They're crazy and stupid. They don't know anything. Any information that you get will be coming out of our microphones. That's what your government tells you. Any information pertinent to what's going on will come out of us because we are the ones that are going to tell you the truth, not anyone else. We're going to tell you the truth. Even though they have a history, a 100+ year history of doing nothing but telling lies and causing deceit and division. And yet, people's Stockholm Syndrome keeps them coming back to the government to ask for more. No matter how much your government takes a dump all over your head, You keep going back for more. They lie to you, they manipulate you, they cause all of this destruction and pain all throughout the world. Not just America, everybody. All throughout the world. In order to further their own agendas. While constantly raising your taxes. While constantly manipulating you into giving up more freedoms. While constantly taking away your right to be a human being. And yet you still go back for more. And then they tell you, don't listen to those people that want to tell you to not listen to us. Because they're lying to you. They're the ones lying to you. You know, we're not gonna give you any more taxes this year. Oh wait, you know, there's another 5% increase on taxes. But we're not going to lie to you. So anything that you hear that comes from us is the truth. But don't listen to them. So when you hear that, and you go on to Facebook, because everybody's on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. Almost everybody. I don't want to say everybody. There's still a couple people that mercifully they have not gotten onto Facebook. There's been a lot of truthers that have dumped Facebook. And I was dumping Facebook right before COVID. I was. Now I've got to get on, like I said, I got to get on Facebook and save all this stuff because some of this stuff is amazing. Some of the stuff I was writing in 2019 was amazing. But the normies will get on Facebook. And as soon as they see a post that is fact-checked, in their brain, in their brainwashed little mind, they will think, oh, wait, I can't listen to that. It's fact-checked. Fact-check means that, you know, oh, there's missing context. There's missing information. I can't listen to this. This is crazy. This is insane. I'm not supposed to listen to conspiracy theories. Any information I get, the truth is supposed to come directly from my government. So they'll shut it off. They'll turn it off. They'll unfriend you. And your message will never be heard. They don't want to listen to it. Somebody was saying it the other day about how all that some people have to do is just take 2 seconds to look at it. Whatever it is, just take a couple seconds just to sit down with me and look at it. You know, and I've tried this myself. You would think some of the smartest people that you would know, you know, whether it be a family member, a friend, whatever, that, you know, you could very easily just show them something. Say, hey, man, just look at this. Just check this out. This is some weird stuff. And show it to them. In the best way possible, the best, easiest way possible, without yelling at them, without screaming at them, without, you know, forcing something down their throat. You're just like, look, this is kind of weird. We should probably pay attention to this. You put it right in front of their face, and they just won't get it. They won't listen to it. They can't comprehend it. That's that brainwashing. That's that manipulation. And what's worse is that they don't want to believe it. They don't want to move out of their comfort zone because they've been programmed to enjoy their comfort zone. I got my own comfort zones. You know, it's taken me a lot of pushing to get me to get out of my comfort zone because I've had some serious comfort zones. And there's been a lot of things that I've come to and I've hit and I've said, you have to put it away. You have to put it away. And it's hard. It's hard to break out of that because you you get so ingrained in a specific lifestyle, a specific way of living. It's really hard to get rid of it. I understand that. I understand it completely. I am not perfect. I'm not going to say, oh, whenever it came time for me to get rid of everything, I dumped everything because I have a will of steel. No, not at all. I absolutely understand. But they don't want to move out of that comfort zone. They want to keep living there. No matter how much information you give them, they want to stay in that comfort zone. They enjoy living in the lie, because if they lived in the truth, something would have to change. So they live in a lie, and they stay in a lie, and they keep living in the lie, no matter how much you show. And they do that to their own demise, their own destruction. And you don't want it. You don't want it for anyone. I don't want it for anyone. One of the memes that I've seen over and over again that I absolutely agree with is the truth community, true people that are trying to wake others up, are now officially trying to save more lives than any government in the world right now, by telling them not to take certain things, by telling them not to believe or listen to certain things. At this point in time, we're trying to save more lives because people are dying because of a lie. It is official. This is, 5 years ago, people were just talking about something like this happening. It was kind of like, these people could be marching you to a death camp. They could find some way that they could, kill you in some way, shape, or form, or do something like this, do something like that, and brainwash you, manipulate you, and yada. 5 years ago, it was just talk. Now it's official. People are dying. People are losing their entire livelihoods. Parents are getting ripped away from their children. Children are dying. For fuck's sakes, what was it? The numbers I read was something like 300,000 people, young adults under the age of 25. 300,000 young adults under the age of 25 dead over the past year. In 1 year, 300,000. Are you kidding me? And now they're declaring states of emergencies over this monkeypox nonsense so that they can shoot you up with even more experimental vaccines. Unreal. And it starts weighing on your head so hard. And you really start having a problem with it. Because you just know that so many people they don't want to hear it. They choose to live the lie. They're having fun with it. They choose to live the lie. And the Bible says God will send them strong delusion so that they can live in the lie, because they choose to live in their unrighteousness. And so many people say that we have yet to see the great deception, and I laugh. All I can do is laugh. If you can't understand that you are living and have been living in the great deception for your entire life, and you have to wake up. That's how it works, though. That's how it works. That's how they did it, and they did it very subtly. And it was slow and behind the scenes, and it has ruined an entire what do I want to call it? People say that there's a great awakening that is happening. People are waking up. Supposedly they're waking up faster and faster and faster. I've had a problem with that because if there were more and more people waking up, I'd be seeing it more and more. I don't see it more and more. I see normies every now and then will come to a realization, but I'm not seeing a mass exodus, this mass movement of people. I'm not seeing it. What I'm seeing is this slow movement of people that are asking questions, but they're not diving in. They're tickling the surface, but they're still living their old lives. Who's that? I don't know what the girl's name is. Somebody posted this, some TikTok chick likes to talk about flat earth. And yet she's an Instagram star. She can come to that truth, but she's not changing. She's not changing. She's still living her life. Still living her life, showing her booty, showing herself out with her friends, showing off her tits. She ain't changing. Don't tell me that there's she's going to come out of that slow. Well, you got to let her take her time pulling out of that. As soon as that girl realizes that telling the truth the way that she does is going to affect her dopamine hits, she ain't going to tell the truth anymore. Now, if I'm wrong, hey man, if I'm wrong, it's going to be a beautiful and wonderful thing. It'll be awesome as hell that an Instagram starlet will be able to come out of it. But I don't foresee that happening. It's like what was it? One of those fake plastic faced models was talking about stepping out of her stepping away from that lifestyle. She wanted to come out of it, or she was out of it, supposedly was out of it. Said, I can't do it anymore. It's too objectifying. It's too this and too that and too whatever. And then you see that she's still posting pictures where she just got another, she's got the fat lips. She's got all the makeup on. She got all the other stuff on. So you didn't come out of it. You just stopped being objectified by professionals. Now you're objectifying yourself through other places. You're not coming out of it. If you're going to find out the truth and come out of something like that, you got to come out of it. You can't just, oh, hey, I'm going to do this for a while and I'm going to change my entire lifestyle because this lifestyle I have is terrible and I want to be better. And then, on the side, you're still living it. Once you get that truth, you can't live in the lie anymore. You can't live that lie anymore. That's what, the whole thing with this flat earth chick. It's like, really? You believe that the earth is flat and that they've been lying to you for your entire life, for the past 60-something years, 70-something years. You will go along with that. And yet you want to still live the lie. You gotta come out of it, man. I'm probably just as hypocritical. There's probably something that in my life that I have not stepped away from yet. I'm probably just as bad. But I'm not that bad. I'll tell you that much right now. I am not posting about flat earth and then as soon as I'm done getting on Instagram and showing pictures of my ass and hoping for likes. That's enough. That's enough out of me. That's how the fact checkers get you, and that's why your friends and family don't listen to you. Because they don't listen to people that get fact checked. They don't want to listen to people that get fact checked. They've been told not to listen to people that get fact checked. That it is a cunning plan of those people that are in charge to make sure they shut you down before you even started. And that's exactly what's happening. I'd say that the only way to fix it is to go person to person, but the lockdowns showed that that's going to be kind of hard. That was one of the first memes that happened is that whenever the British didn't understand if you believe the stories, if you believe your own history, the British didn't understand that when they started raising the taxes and started threatening to take away the guns of the colonists in America, they didn't understand that the colonists in America were going to restaurants, to bars, going out to public places, secretly, to talk, to plan on how they were going to overthrow the British government. Secretly. If you believe your own history, one of the first things that happened whenever the lockdown started was that was one of the things that people were saying is that you can't go to restaurants anymore. You can't go out to public places where you can talk about these things. And they have it now at this point. They found out that people will just follow right along. They can lock you down anytime, anywhere, anywhere, and it doesn't matter. Because they found out they could do it to you once, they could do it to you twice. They could lie to you. They could call it a climate lockdown. Because one of the first things they told you, I think it was a week, 2 weeks after the first lockdowns, they said, oh, the lockdowns are doing so good for the environment. And every conspiracy theorist said it all at once. That's how they get people to lock down. And sure enough, it wasn't even 6 months later the first talks of a climate lockdown started happening. And it's not going to take much. All they're going to have to say is, well, we're just going to have to shut it down for a little bit. They're talking about having forced rolling blackouts through America because there's too much power strain. Well, yeah, there's too much power strain because you have idiots in charge that keep shutting down pipelines to, energy that we've relied on for years and years and years. That stuff's still there. That energy is still there, and yet you are constantly taking it away from us because it's our fault, because we need it. And yet they're the ones that are flying around in the planes, driving around in the trucks. They're the ones that are probably eating the steaks. Because you got to remember, they're saying that all the cows, it's the cows' fault too. It's our fault that we want meat, that we have to have all these cows to feed us. So the cows that are farting in the air, they're saying that the cows breathing is having a problem too. But they're saying that the cows are the part of the problem, and yet all those that are in charge are going out eating their steak dinners and flying their planes and driving their trucks. I'm sorry, but Al Gore's carbon footprint is way bigger than mine. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Al Gore's carbon footprint is way bigger than yours. Greta Thunberg's carbon footprint is way bigger than yours. So don't let these assholes tell you otherwise. Just saying. I gotta go start getting ready for work. I could sit here and keep talking all day, but I'm not going to. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. God bless. It destroys my mind it hurts my mind, and it destroys my mind talking about these things. And I wish it were better. I wish it would better, but people just, it's that brainwashing. You gotta help them through it. However you can, you gotta help them through it. All right. You guys take care of yourselves.